Good morning, everyone. Well, as you can see, we're back out in the garage. It's cooled off a little bit here in Northern California this week, so we're able to come out here and shoot some videos. So other than my neighbor with his leaf blower and a couple of helicopters going over, we should be okay. So you guys ever wonder, is it possible to bring a curse on yourself just by something you might say? You know, you say something and then later on you forget all about it and go on about your life. Well, is it possible to bring a curse on yourself? Well, the answer is yes. So listen, there's a story in the Bible about Jacob and Esau. So Jacob makes some stew, and his brother's out hunting in the field, and Esau comes back in and says, "Hey, give me some of that stew." And he says, "Sure, I'll trade you some for your birthright." And he goes, "Well, what good is my birthright if I'm dead? Give me some of that stew." So he trades him. And then later on, his mother hears Isaac's really old, and she hears him tell Esau, "Go get me some game and I'm going to bless you." Well, she makes Jacob, she runs out and gets a lamb from the field, brings it in and puts hairy stuff on him, so he deceives his father into thinking he's Esau's older brother. And so he gets the blessing. So then his brother finds out, and man, Esau is mad. Esau's going to kill him. So Rachel tells Esau, "Look, I don't want my son taking a wife from these Philistines or anybody else around here." So she sends him off to her brother Laban to find a wife. And Jacob, his uncle Laban, he's a con man. And he totally just cons him for like 20 years. Changes his wages 10 times. He works 7 years for Rachel. And instead of getting Rachel, he gets Leah, her sister, has to work another 7 years, but the whole thing is just a great big con. So anyway, finally Jacob leaves. He says, "You know what? I'm done with you. I'm going back to my father's house." And he leaves. Well, he didn't know it, but Rachel stole her father's gods. And so Laban comes after it. And in Genesis 31:32, this is what it says. Jacob told him, "You search everybody." And he says, "With whomsoever you find your gods, let him not live." Jacob pronounced a curse on whoever stole those gods. "Before our brethren discern what is thine with me, and take it. For Jacob knew not that Rachel had stolen them." So Laban didn't find the gods. Rachel was sitting on them, but she took them. But Jacob had said to Laban, "Whoever took your gods, let him not live." Well, later on, in verse 17, it came to pass, when she, Rachel, was in hard labor, for the midwife said unto her, "Fear not, thou shalt have a son." And it came to pass, as her soul was departing, for she died, that she called his name Benoni, but his father called him Benjamin. So the very next child she had, she died. And she died because of the curse that Jacob put on her. Israel also had a curse put on them by the Pharisees. And it's found in Matthew 27:24. "When Pilate saw that he could prevail nothing, but that rather atonement was made, he took water and washed his hands before the multitude, saying, I am innocent of the blood of this person. See ye to it. Then answered all the people and said, His blood be on us and our children." And then in 24:1, this is what it says. "And Jesus went out and departed out of the temple, and his disciples came with him, and he showed them the buildings of the temple. And Jesus said, You see these things? I say unto you, there shall not be one stone left upon another. They're all going to be thrown down." So when Jesus was out in front of all the people in the Pharisee, they all said, "Let his blood be on us and our children." They called down a curse upon themselves. Titus came down in 68 AD, surrounded Jerusalem in 70 AD. He completely destroyed the temple, and the Jews were dispersed over the entire world. And that's still happening today. World War II, Adolf Hitler killed 6 million Jews. Still part of the curse. Still part of the curse. There's been Islam. Look at Islam. Islam is nothing but a satanic power that has one purpose to this day, and that is to destroy Israel and drive them into the sea. This war that's going on right now is because of this same curse. And it's going to be there until the Lord returns. So guys, listen. You have to be careful what you say. You have to be careful what you say. You never say anything, well, you know what, I could just die. Or anything like that. Because anything you say gives the demonic host legal right into your life. Your words have power. So watch what you say, because it is possible to bring a curse on you by your own words. Anyhow, I just want to give you something to think about. Heaven or hell, you choose. Just remember, once you take your last breath, it's a done deal.